So I had this dream one time, and pardon me, and I was, how old was I? Um, well, I must have been in my late 30s, early 40s. I was living in Nashville, and I had this dream. This is a real, literal dream that I actually had, where I was driving a school bus, which I have done in real life many, many years before I did that. So I was driving this school bus, and it was full of nuns. It was a bus full of nuns. And it sounds like a setup, right? But so I was taking them to some charter thing, some convention or something. And it was pouring, driving rain, high winds, very stormy. And we're approaching this bridge, and it was this huge bridge with a very high span, a very long bridge that went over this big body of water. And I'm not, I've done a lot of driving all my life, and I'm not particularly freaked out by bridges. I know some people are, but they don't bother me. But this one was a very ominous-looking bridge, and there still is very heavy weather coming down. And there's police, there's lights flashing and stuff, and the traffic is kind of backing up at the entrance to this bridge. And as we get closer, I realize that it's like those delayed traffic lights that we have here in LA, over the freeway entrances where they only let a couple of cars go at a time. And the cops were doing that. And so we're slowing down, and I'm getting impatient. Finally, the bus gets up. We're the next ones in line. But this wind is howling, and the rain is coming down in sheets. And the cop comes over to my little window, and he says, "I'm sorry, we're closing the bridge. As the weather's too severe, and we don't think it's safe, so we're not going to let anybody cross for a while." Well, I wasn't having any of this. And I said, "Well, this is bullshit. I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going to, by God, they're not going to tell me when I can cross a bridge and when I can't. I've been driving professionally all my life. I know what the hell I'm doing. This is just a little rain. It's no big deal." And this nun is sitting right behind me, right behind the driver's seat. And she's going, I don't think this is a good idea. I think you should wait, like the officer says. And I said, "Nah, screw him. This is ridiculous. I can have you guys there in half an hour. We're not going to sit here for a little rain. I'm going to crash the barrier here, and I'm just going to go across the bridge." And she's going, "No, please don't. Really, I'm serious. This is a really bad idea. Please don't do this." And I said, "Hang on, sister." And I put the thing in gear, and I revved it up, and I went crashing through the gate. And I go zoom, and there's cop cars chasing me, and now I don't care. And I get out, and I get like halfway across the bridge, and I can feel the bridge swaying in the wind, and the bus is kind of skidding a little bit, but I'm holding on to it because I'm a good driver. And then, of course, the bridge breaks. And now I'm on this bus, and and the sound kind of disappears, and now I'm just floating, and just falling, and the bus is starting to tilt, and we're looking down, and I see the water coming up. And my first thought was, well, now I've done it. I've killed us all. We're all going to die, and it's all my fault. And with the water's getting closer and closer, and bam, and the next thing I know, I find myself in this room, this white room. I'm lying on a bed. Now, this is the most important part of this whole thing. The best way I can describe this room, it was everything in it, every surface, the doorknob, the floor, the bed frame, the light fixtures, the windowsill. Everything you could see in this room was not only was it white, but it was a white color like no other white that I've ever seen in my waking life. It wasn't white like that refrigerator or like any of these walls or even like these lights. It was this absolutely pure, pristine, bright, almost blinding white. Just absolutely pure. I've never seen anything like it in my life before or since. But I saw it in this dream, and the whole room was like that. And there's this white table next to the bed with these white linens very neatly folded on it. And in through this white door comes my mother, all dressed in white. Now, my mother, in real life, my mother had died a number of years before. And I knew that. But there she was, and she came across the floor, and it wasn't like she was levitating, but it was almost like she was walking across the floor without moving her feet. So she was just kind of moving across the floor like that. And she came over next to the bed. And now I'm getting scared because stuff like this doesn't happen every day, you know. So now I'm starting to kind of freak out. And my mother comes over, and I said to her, "Where am I? What is this place? Where am I? What are these linens here? Are these for me? Am I supposed to put these on? What is this place? Where am I? What's happening to me?" And she didn't say anything. She just stood there, and I'm getting more and more freaked out. And I said, "Where am I? Where is this place? Am I dead? Am I dead? Am I dead?" And I'm getting all, you know, freaked out. And there was this look of urgent concern in her face and in her eyes. And she didn't say anything to me, but she just, like it was really important that she do it quickly, she just bent over really quickly to me and kissed me on the lips, just very lightly and very quickly, just, you know, but like she had to hurry up and do it. And I woke up in that instant. And it didn't make any sense to me. The whole dream, nothing about this dream, I mean, I knew it was a dream, but nothing about it made any sense to me. And you know, if you just take your hand and hold it on your arm, you know, like tightly for a few seconds and then let go, you can still feel the pressure of your hand being there for a few seconds. There's a you know, I don't want to call it a residue, but there's a sense, a physical feeling that your hand was there. I felt that on my lips. When I woke up, I knew that someone had kissed me. Now, I lived alone in this house, and I had an alarm system. I had all the doors and windows locked. I had the alarm on. I didn't have any pets. I knew that it was not possible for anybody to have been in that house. I knew that. But that sense of something having touched my lips was so real that I had to get up in the middle of the night and walk around the house and turn lights on and stuff and make sure that nobody was there. It was that intense. So a few weeks, I told a few of my friends about this. I'm almost done, I promise. I told a few of my friends about this. I had this bizarre dream. I don't know what it means. And I can't make heads or tails of it. And most of my friends said, "Wow, man, that's pretty weird." But I spoke to this one friend of mine who was a therapist. And I told her about it. And I told the story pretty much the way I just told it to you. And her eyes are getting real big. And she said, "Oh, wow." And I got done and she said, "Man, what a gift you've had." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "You were visited by your mom. Your mother came and visited you in this dream. And what an incredible, precious thing." And I said, "Well, what's all that with the kiss and everything?" And she said, "Well, it wasn't. She was sending you back here." She said that was her way of. That was the only way she could communicate with you, and tell you that it wasn't your time yet. You weren't supposed to be there yet. So she sent you back here. Now, you can believe that or not believe it. I don't care what your religious or spiritual beliefs are or aren't. I don't know how you perceive dreams. But that's the only explanation anybody's ever given me for that dream that has ever made any sense to me. I don't know that that's what happened, but I know I've had other dreams before and since about both my parents, who were both passed, and none of them were ever like that. All the other ones I recognized as, well, it's a dream. But this explains that weird feeling on my lips, and it also explains that white color of that room that I have never seen any other time in my life. And so, you know, I can't swear that that's truly what happened, but it seems at least possible. The explanation made sense to me, and that's my dream.